We're 100 days from the election now, less than. I have a hard time believing the Wayfair thing based on the Russia. Mostly anything dealing with Russia, I have a hard time to believe.
You fill 1,700 pages, and maybe you'll want to write more of them. I mean, everything we're talking about, you could have a page and a half.
And maybe they'd read more of them too.
Yeah.
Because the long form discussion is taking over these news segments, are taking over these spoon-fed, prepackaged media sound bites that we get every day.
Media. Yep.
Do you think anyone on the left should have been blamed for this?
The insurrection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the entire media.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. With me as always is Ryan. This is episode 65 of The Weekly Show, all the week's hottest topics with a twist. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble to see all of the episodes of The Weekly Show. I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes Ryan will just do stuff, and I don't really know what's going on inside of his head. He's got his hood up. He said he had to make a statement, and that's all the information he was able to give me. Apparently, it's all the information he's able to give anybody.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'll start there. Hi, Dave. How are you?
Did you cut your hair? Is that what the statement is?
Yo, that'd be great. Wouldn't it be a great opener? Cut my hair, ruin the Weekly Show album.
What?
All right. This is mostly theatrics, but I also did want to kind of be like a little serious. You know, I was thinking but for real, hello, everybody. I didn't even say hi to Dave, so I'm just trying to be foolish here because
no, it's fine. I'll go fuck myself. What?
Yeah.
What? I want to know, Ryan. What is?
I'm getting there. It might take me a minute because I had a serious thought. I don't know. I got on the thought of like immaturity and myself. Right. I recently turned 30 last week, and the week before I participated in misogyny, and maybe that's what woke me up to it a little bit.
Speaking of, I did ask, and he did tell me after the off air what. Anyway,
dude, if you could visualize like video words to text message, I would have. But yeah, all seriousness, even though I'm being super funny, I was really thinking about maturity, right? And I don't know how it got me on this long road, but it basically brought me back to like thinking a lot of different shit in my life. I always try to. I'm very funny, and I come off as not serious, and I can't be serious and focused. This show is our little quirky line is this week's news with a twist, right? And that twist is my goofy ass. You know, Dave's like very rational, I guess, more so than me.
Quite. Very serious reporter.
Very serious. Nah, for real. All right. So, there's a guy.
Ryan, the hood. What is with the hood?
I'm not bringing the hood down until it's like prophecy.
I don't know about the hood.
Yeah, the hood is just optical illusion, my friend. So, I told Dave I'd take it down when I'm done. I've seen this video before, but I'm pretty sure this guy was like an ex-KGB agent, okay? And his name was Yuri Bezmozin. Bezmenoz. Right, Yuri. Okay, guy's very bright. He's an old guy at the time. I believe the video is from the mid-'80s, maybe early 90s at the latest. I've been thinking a lot about the Cold War and stuff with this, but in there, it's a very short clip. There's hundreds of, probably hours of this guy talking about stuff like this, very similar. But the one that I seen that was like super beautiful, and I've been carrying it with me since I seen, he talked about it only takes 10 or 15 years to brainwash a generation and like push your ideology. Okay?
Yeah, that's believable, for sure.
Yes. As millennials, okay, we are the largest generation in American history. The second is the generation that founded America, and the third is the baby boomers. Okay?
What? For real?
Yeah, that's a real number.
Like
okay.
Populace.
Yeah, the millennials, us, are the largest
more than the baby boomers,
and the founding generation of this country, which is also crazy that was the largest fucking generation of people, was the initial ones, and then it's been to the baby boomers, right, because of war, and then us. So like I've said for a while that we can like sway voting. Basically, we're the largest demographic, and if we could all vote one way, like if we all voted one way, we change the world overnight because there's so many of us. If you believe in true democracy. So back to the 15 years to brainwash a generation. David and I'm 30. Dave, you're what, 31, 32? Okay.
31.
We remember 9/11. I bring this up all the time on this program, especially recently, because maybe I'm enjoying getting older and thinking about stuff like this. But we've met people in our workforce, and we've worked with them. We've become friends with them. I've worked very close with people personally. I've trained them in skills and confidence, and I've been told you're like a big brother to me. I've had very deep personal connections with people much younger than me as far as remembering stuff. Because it's crazy what 10 years do, right? A 20-year-old and a 30-year-old. You know, it's just... Anyways. So we live and work with people and experience things about people that don't even remember 9/11. Okay? So let's take Yusuf's point here about being able to brainwash one generation within 10 or 15 years. Right there is one generation that I experience every day. Everybody experiences every day. We experience one generation of possible brainwashing people. And maybe this is why the older people always say, them kids today, right? Like it's like the meddling kids, the Scooby-Doo line. But maybe there's a lot of truth in that, because to us and outsiders of not those people, you look like you're going a different way because you're like brainwashed, right? Rock and roll, whatever it's been through society. My general statement here isn't like with any political party or anybody individually or everything, but they have told us, we repeatedly say it on this program, they know what they're doing. And I will give you a conspiracy-free way, okay? Keep in mind it's only taken 10 or 15 years to be able to brainwash. And this Yusuf guy says it far better than I do. But the way they brainwash and break it down, he said it doesn't take long after that, okay? So with being a millennial that has paid attention to politics for roughly the same amount of time that it takes for people to be brainwashed, I have literally seen the change of demographic of people, population, opinion, and all that shit. Polls and media. I saw media trusted, not trusted. AJ had more credibility than CNN. You know, I've seen these things and paid attention to them. Like I've willingly participated. Okay. Globalism is inevitable. Who has said that, David?
Xi Jinping.
Okay. I don't want our video, December 1773's video, to be yanked for the information that I'm about to portray and have any part of it be called a conspiracy. Because I can prove to you how they've destroyed our country. And I've probably spoken longer than it actually is going to take me to speak this. And it's going to seem like a super hyper simplification of our lives. And you know what? That's the point. It's not hard, right? It only takes 10 or 15 years to brainwash a population, and it's not long after that. I experienced people that don't remember 10 years ago what it was like. The way the world was when we were kids, right, Dave? Mm-hmm. Those meddling kids. Okay.
Yeah, uphill. Yeah, walk to school uphill both ways in the snow. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. None of this is misinformation, YouTube. Just the idea that I have to speak that and we worry about that is proof that George Orwell's Big Brother was more correct than he even knew. And some of the very things that I will say here shortly are direct from these people. I am not a prophet. I am not like some person that has hidden tea leaves that I sip in private. I have spent enough time like really wondering and trying to, absorb the history of the things we talk about every flipping week. But yeah, global government works very simply, people. Especially if what is it, Dave? What is globalism? What was, I forget the term.
Do you want the exact definition or my definition?
No. What were we told under Donald Trump's presidency? Globalism is inevitable, right? You know who says that? Thanos in Avengers Endgame.
He is inevitable.
I am inevitable. Globalism, right? He globalizes the whole, he universalizes. All right, I get off the dumbass comic. I can't help it, man. Every show I got a comic book reference. Okay. It really starts with the destruction of a nuclear family. And I'm going to blame all of this on feminists because we have, like I said, this is not an attack against certain ideologies, but for real. There's a reason that our ancestors understood that being an American meant something special. Because America's history has always been America versus the world. Okay? Everybody hates us because they ain't us. They've all wanted to come here. It doesn't matter what time period. Doesn't matter if it was before slavery, after slavery, during a civil war. It doesn't matter. People have always wanted to come here. That's why they're sneaking over the border in crisis-like numbers. Okay? But the previous generation understood that America has to be open 24 hours a day, 365, and there can't be any shutoffs. Do you know why? Because there's more of them than there is of us. There's more other people. If we're going off, you spoke last week, David, on social democracy or whatever it was, voting, global voting or something. This isn't an accident. This isn't an I was told by the guy that is in charge of the largest country on earth, one of them, that globalism's inevitable. Oh, that's weird. The guy that's colonizing Taiwan. The problems with Hong Kong going back. It's an area problem, people. They're the oldest civilizations on earth are in Asia. I wonder why they have problems over there. They've learned this. This is why we know. This is why the 21st century or the 20th century proved it with the failures of communism, the failures of socialism. And I have to hear on the very news stations about fascism. Let's learn about the left wing, huh? Shall we? They killed more people than Hitler. Their whole ideology, people starved. Look up Solzhenitsyn. I don't know how to say it. Peterson talks about him. The guy wrote the book, Gulag's Archipelago, and it helped bring down the Soviet Union because it showed the atrocities of a failed ideology. Globalism is inevitable. They've destroyed the nuclear family by using things like feminism and government handouts and everything else for child support and alimony and all this arbitrary system, because whether women want to like it or not, men deal consequences and have to deal with things that women have no idea what it's like. We don't have to worry about getting raped, I agree with you, but we get fucked by all of society every single day. That's why we're conquerors, because other men conquer other men every day. We're all peons to somebody in the workforce, for example. We follow somebody. Most men that you know follow somebody, right? So they don't need strong men. Women could do it on their own. And then we don't have the very nest egg of civilization, which is the nuclear family. And anybody who wants to think that 2 men can do it and 2 women can do it is a fucking liar. Because the way that humanity got to the 2021 was with a man, a woman, and children. There was no self-identification. There's no hyperbolic time chamber. There was no freaking birth control or pills or all this stuff. I was thinking of this, Adam and Eve, right? They were the first people make fun of that. No, but they were, right? Somebody had to be the first fucking Homo sapien that we call science. Somebody had to be the first human. Adam and Eve were real people. Technically, we just dumb it down to a story so we can understand it thousands of years after it happened and we forgot about it. This is ridiculous. They know what they're doing. They've destroyed the nuclear family, which is the cradle of civilization. It's how we got here. It's what made America great, is we empowered the nuclear family. And we have come mighty fall from our grandparents, as we always hear from certain people. We haven't. We live better now than ever. We're just ungrateful because the very systems that have been created through social media, and I shit talk YouTube, but I use their platform, and I've always done this to Facebook and everything else. Before there was misinformation, before there was all these hashtags, before there was all this black censoring of the internet, before people had to worry about losing subscribers to bots, before any of that, I didn't do it on a scale like Ben Shapiro, but I did it in my freaking car on my lunch breaks, and then I would have conversations with people around me. I experienced the free internet in ways people never will ever again because we lost our right to the internet. When they say they're giving you rights, they take them from you. You're not granted rights from your government. We've empowered a system that has levied taxes to a point that the average business owner has a problem finding and paying employees, especially right now during a pandemic, which shows all the weak spots in our civilization. The government has so much control and so much power. We're powerless. All a business owner can do is raise his prices. That's his only defense against such a outrageously corrupt, powerful, overreaching government is charge more money. We have no labor force. Back to the 365, 24/7, America can't turn off because supply lines run dry. Do you remember Trump when the panic buying first started? He's like, relax. He's like, I'm getting calls from Walmart that they're saying we're buying stuff faster than there's Christmas, than during Christmas. And then I'm hearing currently that we're going to not have enough stuff for Christmas. That's what the Biden administration's saying. Not saying it's true or not. This is conspiracy-free YouTube. But for real, that's what I was told. Okay, so this is the metric. We can't shut off, bro. No, we can't shut the economy off. There's more of them than there is of us. They're openly talking about social voting at a global level. When right now we're being bullied around by unelected officials from boards and all over the place. So you destroy the nuclear family, you burden businesses so the local mom and pop shop can't stay a local mom and pop shop and that they happen to have some freedom from their overreaching government. The media is openly complicit in blocking misinformation, which I've said repeatedly. We say repeatedly, we prove repeatedly every week. We show you their lies. We've watched it in real time. Some people don't only catch one piece of news a week. We try to catch all the news, most of the news, some of the news. But we prove they've talked openly misinformation. Social media, like I said, various systems used to control you, these algorithms. They've built the artificial intelligence already. You're adding to it with hashtags. That was all talked about already. This is all signed. All these Davos documents, all these international global UN documents, all these global things, they're already all there. The missing key was getting America to go along with it because America is literally the golden goose of the world. And people don't want to admit it right now, but we have openly taught anti-American communism ideas to our local youth. And we say that the collective is better than the individual, which is a freaking lie. It's a lie. We are pack animals by nature. Individuals should be empowered because that's who changes pack animals. If you all listen to me, we could change the world, figuratively. But for real, they've done it. Globalism's inevitable. They showed you. They already do it there. They already do all this there. They've already done all this there. China has a one-child policy. Do you think they're not going to have that here if there's, quote, too many people for, quote, climate change crisis, quote, economic disaster, quote, not enough supplies for babies, quote? What media headline do I need to prove to people that this is a plan? The documents are signed. AJ spoke about this years, called him crazy. He is crazy. I'd go crazy too thinking about it like that. But this is conspiracy free. There's no secret societies here. All this stuff's open documents. The Bilderberg Group, a thing that was a conspiracy, openly met at a place that a statue was getting eaten alive. It was going from human to cyborg. The same year artificial intelligence people are there, the very artificial intelligence that controls us and brainwashes our kids to be capitalists instead of saving your money and investing in the future and fighting back against the government by empowering yourself as an individual. Which is why they've attacked athletics. You think they want Wonder Woman at high school? You think they want a young, strong girl that's smart, a triathlon, whatever, what's it called, when you do all three things, like you do 3 sports every year and you're an honor student. I had girls like that in my school, super hot too on top of it. Like they got the whole world at their work. Can't empower them. We can't empower that for girls. We can't have that. We can't have successful, strong females ready for society. We got a damaged nuclear family, baby. So they've introduced men into sports. They define rights and language using gender in particular, and they also do it with gay marriages. None of the government's business, either of those things. This is an attack on either people. This is the point that the government has too much power if they can redefine things to control you by. America falls, globalism follows. You don't want global democracy. You really don't. I mean, the shortage of supply chains right now is really the thing that has really made me think about this. There's been plenty of stories. I've talked about it. Everybody knows I can't find fucking coffee in a glass bottle made by Starbucks. I've gone to 30 different stores. They don't even have it. You know what it is? It's supply chains. Sam Adams. Okay? This is a Oktoberfest. I drink these all the time. Earlier this year, the label had the print Sam Adams. They say them on every bill. They put their label on there. Mm-hmm. Do you know what this reminds me of, Dave? When they switched from pennies to copper to the nickel hybrid, right? Or the all copper nickel or whatever. So they had iron and steel for wars. We're at war, bro. I mean, come on. Shortages? This is not a shortage. There's a surplus of stuff. There's a surplus of stuff. It's waiting. They've outsourced all our jobs. I bet you go buy Sam Adams is made in America. If they can't put a glass bottle in there, I hope somebody in America makes glass and they can ship it across America. Buy America, right? Our grandparents knew that. Our fathers knew that. One generation. We forgot that. We've outsourced our money. Globalism's inevitable. We live through it and we experience it. And it's not a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy anymore. You're watching it. And I really hope that enough people pay attention and we are able to be successful, because it could leave power vacuums, which is not necessarily a good thing. I guess that's enough of my slander and everything. I've been thinking heavy on this. But globalism is inevitable.
And this is what they are saying. So it's not a conspiracy. I mean, it's not a conspiracy. They are saying it.
I mean, keep going, dude. The jabs, prime example. Dude, they're using the military to house people in a shortage on top of your social benefits that have produced the shortage. You gave people extra money to stay at home when essential people. You've defined what essential is. It's essential. Everybody works, bro. I'm not working for my neighbor. There's a shortage of bread. I'm going to go work for my neighbor? I can't even get bread for myself. Why would I work for my neighbor? Globalism's inevitable. It's communism. Globalism is communism. They hijacked capitalism. I mean, McCarthyism, right? That was communism all in one generation. That was 3 generations ago. Bernie Sanders is an open socialist in an elected position in America when we saw hundreds of millions of people die from extreme socialism. 1 generation. I got to get lectured by the media that's complicit with the government to combat misinformation, which isn't a real thing. It's not even real. They quote misinformation to probably make it a legality. Legality, there's no Biden vaccine mandate law. It's a recommendation. Do you remember when the guy before him was going on recommendations? He's a tyrant. Go Joe Biden. Let's go Brandon. This is lunacy. Globalism's inevitable. They infiltrated our government. I proved it to you. It sounds oversimplification, but think about it. Go outside right now. Go everywhere. America used to be 24 hours, baby. Back in my day, everything was open till 4 in the morning. Yeah, we experienced that. All bars were 4 a.m. in Buffalo. You're lucky you catch a bar after 11 o'clock on a Friday in Buffalo during a Bills game. This is ridiculous. Tell me the government didn't overstep its bounds. Tell me the government isn't part of the globalism threat to the nuclear family, which is the cradle of civilization. So by extension, globalism by default is an attack on the human race. Communism is an attack on the human species of Homo sapien. And I will not follow laws that empower authoritarians. I will not follow science that empowers authoritarians. And I will not follow anything that empowers globalism.
So we've been extremely clear on this show, our stance on globalism, I think. That's obviously the most clear we've been. We talk about globalism and its downfalls frequently, but another thing we talk about internally here, domestically, is the issue about unelected officials. I think unelected officials are our biggest, in my opinion, the biggest domestic issue we face is unelected officials. because they have all the power currently. And nobody's voted for them. They don't have any responsibility.
It's every other fucking day. If I did not have news notifications on and you were to ask me what was going on, I'd be like, I don't even know. Because you can't even keep up. You can't keep up. There's just people change. Who are these experts? CNN is cult expert. This person's an expert. I'm a fucking expert too. I'm Ryan. I'm an expert on being awesome. You're not calling me down there. Everybody's an expert now. Great. I'm happy for you. But we're going off one person's opinion on everything. Because they solidified everything. They've killed your attention span. We're the generation that was raised by the generation that was raised by the generations that made TVs. One generation, right? We're 3 deep in that. We're all brainwashed. My kid's brainwashed. It's all our faults. It's all our parents. It's not the point. They know what they're doing. It's inevitable. We'll fucking change every other day based on vaccine mandates. And they're going to mandate your job and mandate your kid at school about it. About stuff that changes every other day. The gator last week was fine for a mask. This week, it's not fine anymore. Could have fooled me. Is it the Delta variant found its way through Gatorville? It's a lunacy. I mean, this is like always believing the big kid on the playground. Oh, he's an expert at beating me up. I got to listen to him. Yeah, if you don't, we're going to come over there with guns and taxes. Shut you down. Oh, you can't file for unemployment. Why? Because you're a private business. Well, you said I'm not essential. Yeah. Like, oh, there goes my kid's college. So, they wave everything over your head like a dog chasing a biscuit, and then you're going to tell me that they're going to give me universal basic income and universal health care and all these universal basic needs of humans. I couldn't even have the stuff I worked for. I can't even keep the things I worked for.
Ryan, I'm not going to lie to you. You're ultra fired up right now, which is great, but it makes me nervous to even tell you the headline I had planned last.
This is a Saturday vibe, bro. This is a Saturday vibe.
Quite frankly, if you're this fired up now, it's gonna be bad. Like you're gonna break shit.
I decided to write this right before we started. Like I have show prep on globalism. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the president for life's told me. The president for life. How crazy is that? That's a king. That guy said it's inevitable. Come on. He said it years ago. And then I see globalism being inevitable with fucking supply chain shortage. Guess all the stuff had to go to China where there's more people. Democracy and all. It's us versus them. It's America versus everybody. I don't understand. We used to applaud this. This used to be the pinnacle of human civilization and capability that blasted people on a rock that has nothing on it. And we stuck a fucking flag up there. There's nothing on the moon. We can't even drill holes on a foreign planet.
I'm glad you didn't slip up and say an alien planet.
Yeah, that's offensive. Lemmy Tabato, the woman who has this spectrum of feelings. Oh, I just feel this way. Yeah, I feel really fired up right now. I don't identify as a self-contained fire.
I was wondering if you would catch on to that. I didn't know if you would have seen that or not.
Unbelievable.
To be clear, Demi Lovato said that the term alien is offensive to extraterrestrials.
This is what shows what happens when hot chicks do drugs. It just messes them up, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. She never did drugs.
Yeah, I want to kill myself. I came out with music that sold terribly because I already said I would sell so many, and I had to blow guys to keep my job, like Harvey Weinstein. He knew Bill Gates, knew Jeffrey Epstein, and he has a magical island that's the only one. They have Pedophile Island!
They specified...
That must fly to the globalism spectrum of inevitable.
They had to specify island because that's the only island. There's other pedophile stuff. There's pedophile space rings, apparently.
We could dig up the fucking Zodiac killer and find the guy. He died 20 years ago. We're like, yep, that's definitely him. I got Earth can read a freaking newspaper from space. We missed a freaking whole airplane, the Malaysia Air flights from like 2015. Like, come on.
It disappeared.
Sir, you can alter the weather, but I'm going to hear about droughts. Go look apart, people. Real stuff. It's not misinformation. They make it rain in Dubai with airplanes. No, we can't alter the weather. We need to tax me how many miles I drive. That's how we grow more crops, is we take money from people.
Ironically, a good way to grow more crops is greenhouse gases.
Oh my God, we already feed China our rice. America grows whatever the number is, but America's rice is exported to China because they can't grow enough for their population. Huh. Wonder why my rice is so expensive. Growing it down the street, it's going across the world. Globalism's inevitable. We're outsourcing my strawberries to buy ones from Chile because it's picked by habanero peppers and freaking whatever else their names are. This is like, come on.
Speaking of peppers, we need to do this. I wanted to do.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm really sorry, everybody. I am fired up, but this shit pisses me off at some point.
I don't know if anyone's seen these one chip challenges, but I told Ryan I think we should do an episode where we eat the chip at the beginning of the episode and try to go through the episode normally. They seem extremely hot. I don't know how far I'd make it. I have a pretty decent tolerance to heat, but I don't know.
It's chilly. It changed my.
Ryan's fired up. I don't want to kill the vibe. Let's get into it. Headlines. U.S. will provide condolence payments to families of Kabul drone strike victims.
Oh, the guys they identified as terrorists, and then they just identified as Iraqi people.
Well, okay. So
I wonder if the media would have only been able to consort with the White House before they released the press release that said that it was a terrorist, and they would combat misinformation before it happened.
Well, yeah, but remember, when the left does misinformation, it's not misinformation. They're misspeaking.
Yeah, we just misreported on hundreds of thousands of numbers. I wonder if they got how many people died wrong as well.
It's only misinformation on the right, Ryan. Only misinformation on the right.
The white want globalism too. That's what the rhinos are. We speak about all the time. The guys that took down Trump, the fucking deep state, right? Oh my God, the invisible boogeyman. Everybody talks about it now. Everybody talks about it. Oh, the deep state's fucking Trump. Yeah, no kidding. Globalism's inevitable. Go ahead, Dave. I'm so sorry, man. I'm really trying.
So we had actually originally talked about this headline a while ago when no one else was speaking about it. This was on NPR, which, we talked about people saying the quiet part out loud and accidental journalism every once in a while. I'm surprised they're even talking about this. But one thing... So here's something interesting about the whole thing. Joe Biden, do we agree Joe Biden, as the president of the United States, is the commander-in-chief of our military?
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah.
Okay. Is it safe to assume, as the commander-in-chief of the military, if there is a drone strike that kills innocent people, he would ultimately be the highest in charge of that event occurring, correct?
Well, it's the Pentagon, Dave.
Okay. Okay, well, obviously you and NPR are on the same page because Joe Biden is not mentioned in the entire article. It literally does not say his name.
The Pentagon's answering questions. Ask the president! Ask the president!
The commander-in-chief of the military. They're talking about generals and other people, and I'm not saying they're not responsible also if they're giving bad information, but the commander-in-chief is not mentioned in this article. Do you think if this happened under Trump, NPR would mention Donald Trump in the article?
They blame him. They said Trump killed 12 innocent Iraqi children.
That's exactly how the headline would read. This is how this would go. Donald Trump, if he won the election, because he didn't, and there's free and fair elections. If this happened under Donald Trump, here's the NPR headlines. Headlines. Donald Trump drone strike kills 10 innocent victims. That's a lot different than how it reads now.
Yeah, it's, it reminds me awfully a lot of this book here.
Are you allowed to even show that?
Yeah, make sure you buy them physically because they will erase them. They will Winston. Yeah, that's exactly what it would be like. I seen I didn't mean to steal your thunder with your question, but I seen the Pentagon comment today on that drone strike, and
no.
What
was the comment? Do you know?
I don't need to know a comment. Globalism's inevitable. Like, what more do I need to know? Honestly, at this point in my life, What more can you lie to me about that I already haven't caught you in?
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Headlines. Russian thrusters accidentally tilt the International Space Station again. Accidentally. What do they accidentally tilt the space station? They said it was a software glitch. Accidentally.
I wonder if it's because it runs on fossil fuels. It messed up.
Accidentally twice. They tilted the International Space Station on accident twice in 5 months.
I got a question. How long was it tilted, and did it mess anything up? Because the real question is, if they tilted, I wonder what Russia was up to.
No. See, the news doesn't need to ask these questions.
Together for humanity to stay in a little 6x6 cubicle, be like, oh, where do you sleep? Oh, here with the Americans. Oh, where do they sleep? Oh, with the Chinese.
No. Ryan, you're asking the right questions. Don't ask those questions.
I would be suicided so fast by this government if they really were.
They do answer all types of questions. Like the one question you didn't ask, which you should have asked, was, well, how many degrees was it tilted?
How many degrees was it tilted?
That's what it's. The first incident occurred on July 29th and tilted the station by about 540 degrees. That's more than one rotation, for the record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the answer.
It rotated.
Well, more than once, yeah. And then on 2 separate occasions.
It sounds like it was pretty strategic.
But to your point, Ryan, they don't answer what happens when that happens. They just it did tilt.
Did it break the International Space?
No. Luckily, everyone survived the incident. Ryan,
can you do me a favor and look up where the funding for the International Space Station came from? Because I will say, if the Russian government is messing with my International Space Station that my grandparents went and killed Nazis for so that I could afford to blast them up there with them, I'm going to call them terrorists, and we got to take them up.
In general, laboratory funding for space station use is obtained through research opportunities with other government agencies, private and non-profit sectors.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't hear foreign governments in there.
Well, other governments, right?
Yeah, I bet you.
Other government agencies.
This is called compartmentalization, when they're able to tell certain groups of people certain things, and then they don't know what the other group knows, and it's a military tactic, militaristic takeover. I wonder what the Space Force is gonna their first fuck up. What they're gonna have to lie to us in PR.
No, the Space Force is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
obviously. Why would you need a Space Force, Ryan?
Yeah, I don't know. They moved the International Space Station 500 degrees of foreign people. Foreign people touch the International Space. Where do you get your funding? Oh, from government agencies. Government agencies. Who's paying for this thing? You just moved it. What happened? They moved 500 degrees.
Hold on. Why are you so concerned about the International Space Station? Obviously, nothing happened. You know what probably happened?
And it's above everybody.
Realistically, it probably shut Facebook down for a couple hours. That's probably all that happened.
I'm glad we're worried about that. I'm sure they weren't hiding their pedophile islands. Dude.
Saturday vibe is wild.
We lived through the free internet, people. It's not free anymore. I hope we enjoyed it. Hope we utilized, because I know I did. I know what I did, man. God help us, man.
Yeah, nobody wants to know what you did.
I wish I could tell that story. It would sound grapish.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people could finger it out if they really wanted to.
Yeah, I did go to slip finger.
So
I'm a misogynist.
It's crazy because we talk about. I mean, all this stuff always connects and combines, but
globalism is inevitable.
Elected officials, unelected peoples, unelected agencies. They're dangerous. I'm telling you, it's not good. If this is supposed to be, and it's not even supposed to be a democracy, global democracy is a whole nother thing. It's not even supposed to be a national democracy. It's supposed to be a constitutional republic. That's how it's set up by the founders for a reason. But then you end up with things like this. Headlines. The DOJ is supposed to ask the Supreme Court to block the Texas abortion law. The Supreme Court already weighed in on it. They said it's constitutional. We now have an unelected group with appointed officials from a Biden administration asking the Supreme Court,
highest court in the land,
the highest court in the land, to overturn their judgment. And ironically, that even says in here, the move comes after a federal appeals court allowed the SB 8 to remain in effect. So the federal court said it's okay. The Supreme Court said, yeah, this is constitutional. And the DOJ is like, well, we got to change this.
Well, this shows you. 10th Amendment, if anybody doesn't know it, fucking pull up your pocket constitution. What's a pocket constitution? 10th Amendment says that anything not delegated to the people or to the states, respectively, is left to the states and to the people. Basically, if it's not in the Constitution, we'll leave it to the states. Simple as that. Now, that's an oversimplification, but it's not. That's really how it's supposed to be, people. So that's why we here believe whatever, when we talked about this when it happened, Supreme Court ruled on it, was like, yep, this is constitutional. This is ruling from the bench. They're trying to rule by proxy. They're trying to enforce laws by proxy. I guarantee you they have those judges on freaking hotlines trying to get them with sex dolls and pedophile islands. I'm sure that would happen.
That would never happen. I've never seen such a thing happen to elite people.
Honestly, at some point, I don't know. Oh, speaking of elite people, I've seen that steaks now are becoming so expensive. Oh my God, I was so on fire at the beginning of this program. Steaks are becoming so expensive that they're going to be a, quote, luxury item. Oh, that's weird. I wonder why they're making all this fake impossible meat while real meat's getting expensive. It's impossible. Yeah, it is impossible that the thing we brought here from another country and grow here, we buy land to put cows there. We're like, nah, this is too expensive. It's down the street. There's cows that grow miles from my house. How is cow expensive? How? I thought you said it's a pollutant to the earth because there's so many of them. There's so many cows, gases that's killing everything. How is
that's why I'm trying to eat them all. I'm trying to do my part. I think they call it the impossible meat, the Impossible Whopper. I think it's impossible because it's impossible to eat.
Dude, it's literally made of chemicals. Trust the science. Yeah, I don't know. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Vaccine science, right? But then there's all this health stuff. Like, why you shouldn't eat bread? Why sugar's bad for you? Why salt's bad for you? Why new science emerges.
Well,
it's fucking fake allegories, man. It's so ridiculous.
This is a perfect.
Dude, there's no way it was expensive. I'm sorry. If we're gonna be so desperately hungry from eating soy-based meats that we won't fight back. Kevin came on this program and told you about it. Go look at our history log. God bless you, Kevin. Freaking wise man. He says it with facts. I just speak out of knowing what the hell they plan on doing. Oh, elites. I'm sure all these guys, oh yeah, property tax went up. Oh, that's weird. Only rich people can afford to live here now. Oh, all the rich people got all the land. I wonder how that worked. I read years ago about Asian businessmen buying up whole counties of lands in the middle of Iowa. I'm sure they're not going to do anything with all that land. They're just from another country. I found it real quick to round it out about the Supreme Court thing. I know I'm jumping. There's a reason our founding fathers laid out things that are highly reminiscent, highly simple, and highly defiable no matter what your race, color, or creed is. You understand when you read that. If you can read English, which everybody should, it's a superior language because it melts all languages together. That's why they hate the West, man. This is an attack on Western government. Globalism will only thrive when individual freedom dies. That's the only way it works. Because if I am not an individual, I'm a global civilian. I don't have global rights. I can't eat meat because it's bad for everybody. I can't drive a car because it's bad for everybody. I can't drink beer because it's bad for everybody's health insurance premiums. I can't do all these, and we've seen all these things, whether it's a vaccine or all these things. Smokers have to pay more on health insurance. When they got you addicted through society and the media and movies and Hollywood and all these other organizations got our grandparents addicted to cigarettes, and then our parents smoked because it's about the times, and now it's young kids vape, and we're like, oh, we should go after these vaping companies. I mean, I just destroyed the whole structure of this program. Our founding fathers fought a global force, and they knew what it took. That's why they empowered the individual at the level that they did, because they understood. They fought the largest, most powerful military in the entire world. That the sun never set on never set on England. That was the saying. The East India Trading Company. Huh? I wonder where they were trading. England. That's why England has culinary from India in there, spices and cumin and all these other crazy things. But there's a reason our founding fathers empowered individualisms. I'm sorry, David.
No, you're good. So I'm not saying I didn't enjoy everything you just said or agree with it, but we had a perfect segue in the next headline, and then you ran with it. It's okay. It's okay. Here's the deal. This is the last one, and this is the one I'm afraid to tell you right now because you're already fired up. But remember, trust the science. I just want everyone to remember this. Trust the science. Headlines. Indiana family says they were mistakenly given COVID vaccines. Mix-ups like that are rare. Apparently, they were there for a flu shot. They got a COVID shot accidentally. Just like Russians accidentally tilted the International Space Station. Accidentally.
One whole time, dude. Imagine spinning like... You know how hard it is to like do a front flip? Like imagine doing a front flip in 2/3. It's crazy. Giving me I'll beat the
accidentally. Trust the science. Accidentally.
What state was this?
Indiana.
Oh, it's definitely a blue state, right, Dave?
Trust the science.
They're gonna vaccine your kids at school. And they're going to say that it's to protect everybody else. That's why you can't have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Yeah, let's just stay away from I'll never forget. I looked at my child's pediatrician. I was like, when can kids eat peanut butter? He's like, we kind of recommend, like, after a year. My kid's a couple months old. I was like, yeah, because I just take peanut butter and stick it in her mouth. And she loves it. The doctor, like, eyes got big. He's like, well, I guess since she's fine, just keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't have a reaction. Go for it.
Hey, like, how did humans get here? Oh, evolution. We were influenced by our environment. Oh, I wonder why my kid's not allergic to peanut butter now. Gave it to her whole life. Oh, yeah, she's fine. Honey's another one. I don't know why they don't want you to give kids honey.
Are you insinuating, Ryan, you gave her a peanut butter vaccine?
Yeah, I did. It's called biology and nutrition. Joe Rogan had on... Oh, my God.
Sanjay Gupta.
Oh my God! I don't even.
It was one of my favorite Rogan interviews of all time because Rogan. Say what you will, but you're actually right about Rogan. He is coming around. He's becoming more political as time goes on, and he drilled Sanjay Gupta. He hammered him. He performed journalism.
He did not move to Texas for nothing, dude. Come on, he would not say that in California. I watched 2 minutes of that shit, and I was like, ah! And then there's all these people covered. Joe Rogan, do you remember when he said he wanted universal basic income and all this other crazy shit? The globalism is inevitable talking lines? Come on. Yeah, there's a reason he knew, dude. He knew.
He has a great...
Knew. He drove around, he's like, oh my God. When all the pandemic, he spoke about it on his podcast. He's like, I'm out of it. He saw The Walking Dead, dude. He's seen too many movies too, man.
For people who don't know, Sanjay Gupta is he works for CNN, or I think he's on their.
He's a doctor.
He's a doctor, but he works for CNN. Let's be honest. They have him on frequently enough that I think he's probably on the payroll.
How crazy is it that a guy that makes dick jokes is telling the guy that works for a $1 billion organization that is global, has its hands in many, many cookie jars, and he's telling them, no, before we move on, you are going to answer, how do you feel working for a company? Who is Joe Rogan to question somebody's ethics for working somewhere when he had twisted political ideology that he is 180 degrees on? I'm glad he did it, but like, this is what I'm talking about, man. People know the real truth when you experience it. When you see it and you're awake and you're aware, I'm thankful Rogan's moving over. It's because he's actually paying attention to the world. You cannot be a liberal. You cannot be a socialist. You cannot be a communist and pay attention to history in the world, man. You can't... Honestly, if you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, what is that telling you? He has thousands of episodes. It took him thousands of guests for him to get red-pilled. And I don't mean political ideology. I mean like the Matrix, literally. Take the red pill and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes, or take the blue pill and you stay in Neverland. Joe Rogan, it took him thousands of episodes, thousands of guests, thousands of famous people to like really and then experience something crazy. I told you guys, when he moved there, he showed you what he believed, and I'm glad he stuck up for himself and stuff, but should not be ungrateful and impatient, because I think he will wake more people up than I could ever. So I'm grateful for Joe Rogan, even though I don't have a love-hate relationship with him. I think I love him so much, and that's why I get so like that's why I speak the way I do about it, because this guy has made me such an awesome person. It's just like, dude, how do you not see this? You know, like I learned from you. Like, how do you not? Oh, I'm just a dummy. Yeah, you played well, man. You did well. I'm glad you were an actor on Fear Factor, because it definitely helped you. And I'm glad that he's going to open comment. He might become a news, open Joe Rogan News or something, or like, I don't know. He has the Rogan effect. He just has people on to get trillions of freaking traffic, you know? It may die out or whatever, but my whole point is like, yeah, hearing Joe Rogan laying in him is great and all. I didn't even get through it all because, I really have a hard time. I told myself I wouldn't be influenced by as many of these people anymore and try to focus on myself and have my own kind of spin on the world. And I'm just happy that it's aligning with a lot of these people. Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, they're definitely like my Rogan, Peterson, Rush, local rate. Like I've always, subscribed to a certain kind of thing, but it's like as I'm getting older and I'm seeing these things, and the very monologue I laid out, I know it was 30 minutes, so I know it was a little long, but it's serious stuff, man. Like nobody wants to talk about it anymore because everything's kind of turning back on. Sports are on, all this other stuff, but nothing changed, man. The Coliseum got bigger. That's the only difference. The distractions got more intense. Everything was dialed up already. Donald Trump dialed everything up. He's like the best and worst thing that happened to the world. So, yeah, Indiana couple getting flu shots by mistake was not a mistake. You have to get things scanned.
Just an accident.
Maybe we should just universalize healthcare and there'll be no mistakes.
But
look up the deaths from Dr. Malpractice. It's startling. Not saying doctors, maybe we should defund the doctors because they kill too many people. But we save millions of people a year. No, defund them. You killed 1 million. That's a police brutality joke, people, because it's literally the same thing. You just don't care because you're not told to by the very media that combats misinformation. With the president, that's not authoritarian. Watch V for Vendetta. Remember, 5th of November.
Well,
that's coming up.
Yeah, but at least the way most people consume their information now isn't consorting with any type of government officials. That'd be bad. That's
what's so dangerous about Netflix and all these other streaming services. They've basically now become the media is the streaming services, YouTube included, Disney Plus. They're pushing Disney open. They made Superman's son gay, bisexual, whatever. Look, I'll tell you this: if I was the strongest man on earth, I'm not fucking dudes.
Imagine.
Yeah, they openly push. This is our new religion, like people mock religion, but dude, there's a reason we had religion for as long as we had it. So.
You good? Feel better?
You know what that reminded me of at the beginning? I was like, when I got halfway through, reminded me of my car rants, man.
Yeah, the car rants that used to get more views than our Facebook page with 10,000 plus followers gets. That's weird. There's no shadow banning though at all. That doesn't happen. That's made up. That's misinformation to suggest such a thing happens.
Maybe I needed to wait until the world got like this before we started our own program, but I messed up. I should have kept going. I regret it sometimes, but say la vie, right? All that matters is what I do today.
All right, what's interesting is our page's shadow banning extends over to you, because I guarantee if you did another video, you get like 20, 30 views.
yeah.
That's weird.
I can't even like share a memory that people are tagged in. It's like 9 likes. It's like there's 30.
I literally can't stream live. Not allowed. Facebook doesn't let me. I don't know why. Ryan's worse than I am. He could probably go live.
I got told today. He's like, "Have you heard the things that come out of this guy's mouth?" It's like, "Yeah, man, I'm on."
I hear him every Monday at 7.
Yeah, I do actually. I watch every week, man. I know how crazy I get and how fun I have. I remember how much fun I have when I watch. To be honest with you, because like sometimes I watch, I was like, "Damn, man," but it's like I remember in that moment, I was like, "Nah, man, I'm having a blast." Just appreciate everybody tuning in. But the shadow ban thing really kind of the combat misinformation. I mean, I ain't even got it. There's better people than me have told you about this. Like. George Orwell worked for BBC. And he said he hated it, and they're the Ministry of Truth that he writes about. Then they make him a statue when he dies. Way to immortalize him. The guy hated you. They're psychopathic in their tendencies. Glad we caught it. Zodiac Killer can't find all the guys that went. Still don't know who else went to Pedophile Island. What do you know about Bill Gates? Bill Gates, what do you know about Epstein? He's dead. I can't get a job because I won't get a vaccine. We have the guy that owned Microsoft, one of the wealthiest men ever, laughing about a dead Pedophile Island owner. And then Chesley Maxwell has the audacity to file for appeal or secret. It was a secret. She wants the documents secret, so they're not released to the public. Everything else gets leaked, but the thing about this could stay secret.
That's weird.
All right, I'm done. I'm done with that. I'll get off the Pedophile Island. I assume that's all you had for.
That is all I had. Believe it or not, though, when we're ready for it, I have a Decembertainment.
Ooh.
Are you ready for Decembertainment, though?
Yeah.
Or do you have things to buzz through?
I don't know if I need to buzz through anything, man. I mean, honestly. Oh yeah. I can tie the thing into Decembertainment. I'm good.
My Decembertainment, a little egotistical. It was our video clip we made. But when I went back to watch the footage and I saw you just get up, grab some snacks, take the paper out, you just start reading the paper. I'm like, dude, this is great. What Ryan does, this was a perfect glimpse into Ryan's life. I was dying when I made that video. I was like, Ryan is gonna fucking lose it.
Dude, I had to watch it during the week again to cheer myself up. I laughed so hard at myself, man. Because I genuinely have fun in life. Yeah, I don't care, man. I was like, I forget sometimes the stuff I do. I'm like, Ryan, Time to Kill. I was like, what? I'm like, oh my god, I forgot. Wasn't I talking to my kid too during one of the times?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Like trying to pass a life lesson on in between burping and reading. It's
like as soon as I leave, Ryan's like, hey, you good? Gets up, grabs a snack, chews on it for a little bit, gets the paper, starts reading.
And then I tie the stuff into our show when you get back. I literally make it up as I go, even though I'm decently informed. Oh my god, man. So, my favorite part was the burp. I don't know why, but it's like
the burp at the beginning.
Yeah, like
as soon as I leave,
I excused myself. Like, there's nobody.
Excuse me, everybody.
I forgot we were recording, and then I'm like, and then I was like, am I reading or am I just like? That looks scripted, but. And then I was like, the paper like folded weird. Oh god. All right. My Decembertainment this week. Maybe I should be a comedian in my life because I love comedy. You know who Patrice O'Neal is?
Yeah. Yeah, he passed away a while ago, though, I believe.
I think it's like 10 years. Honestly,
hilarious, though.
I've heard him referenced in the comedy world, and I actually I've listened. I've heard some of his stuff. I just didn't know it was him, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, he's hilarious.
You know, because in our day, Comedy Central used to just literally play stand up for like 12 hours on the weekends, in particular, I think, or so like you could like all these specials that are on Netflix now. That's what it was before. So like you could watch like serious chunks of comedy, South Park, the movies that are funny. Like Comedy Central was really a banger, man. Before it was just
the best is when they had like just the 30-minute, like the quick sets.
Yeah, like you'd get like bam,
Those
bam,
were
bam.
great.
Yeah, because they gotta like condense their punchlines real hard. But yeah, dude, him and I speak a lot alike about women, man, and his misogyny stuff. Oh my god! And I always knew who Opie and Anthony was. Obviously, I believe they were off the air by the time I started listening to talk radio, and then they got on for a short time and blah blah blah. I knew who they were. I know what they're about. They're crazy, whip it out Wednesdays and all their other crazy stories and. But like, dude, I listened to so many. I probably listened to like 10 of his videos, maybe 20 of his videos throughout the week because I needed like a good laugh, you know. And he's just like he's super honest about women. A lot of them were about women. When I listened to it, seems like was like his angle of jokes was like about men and women and the dynamic and sex and game and So, dude, I was laughing. But he's on Opie and Anthony a lot of time, and they had like basically like a Black Dr. Phil, and people would call in, dude. And some of the trailer trash and like some of these truck drivers and all the Jerry Springer candidates that didn't get on the show, they got their second chance with Opie and Anthony, man. It is so funny. I was dying laughing. And Patrice O'Neal, man, look up some of his stuff. Great stuff. And then I got another Decembertainment. It's not really a Decembertainment. It's like a disclaimer.
Just December claimers.
December claimer. Even speaking about it, you sound like a bitch. But no one cares about how guys feel. Only other men care about how other men feel. And it's just the way it is. It sucks that as men we have to burden this. It sucks as men that we can't even speak out about this because we always hear about these other things, right? Like, oh, well, you didn't, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, what the hell? Men kill themselves in masks. Men work more hours. Men drive for like we ain't even. There's no point in arguing statistics. Men, as a general, sex and gender, no, we know that women have it easier than us, and we make the world easier for them. It's just the way it is. If you want kids, if you want to raise kids, if you want to have a society that raises kids, that's the way it has to be. Because that's
biological.
It is. It's not. People say nurture and nature. Nah, man. Dude, somebody had to be the first Homo sapien, man. And like, I told you guys I've been real spiritual lately. And I probably will never waver from this because I have the greatest mindset I've ever had. And I know that I'm not just a hunk of meat, man. I fucking know, man. Like, I'm not joking, man. I know. And I'm not saying I can feel all the way back to the first ancestor, but I know like the feeling and passion and fire and that's biological, man. That's not like I can't manufacture that. That's not like something I think about and practice, and it's not how it works. It's the same way when it comes to men and women. It's just the way it works. That's why literally what were we told as kids before YouTube had to teach people? The birds and the bees, right, Dave? But those are two different types of animals. One's bigger than the other. Doesn't even make sense when you're told about it. Now we have everything else teaches us, but there's a reason they had that saying. But you know, I in full transparency, you know, like I won't go too in depth. I will never disparage anybody that I have had relations with in my life publicly. It's not the type of person I am. But the hardest days I have in my life is pretty much every couple days during the week, you know, single dad and all that. But when my kid goes home, man, when I come home from work and she's not with me, she's at her mother's, and it's painful, and it happens like a third of my week, it's like 100-something days a year, that I feel this way, and it's just because that's the schedule. I have to do what I have to do, but it weighs on you. I cry to work. I cry. I've been going on park walks a lot. I cry out in the woods talking to God and looking at nature. And nobody cares about our mental health, man. But I would tell everybody, as a man, go for a walk in the woods alone. I brought a couple beers with me, and I was just enjoying some Oktoberfest in October, man. And I got caught in a thunderstorm. And I got soaked like I've never been soaked before. And I willingly just walked through the woods, like just trying to feel like... I came to a realization. I realized, we see it portrayed in movies, like why people do it when you go to church. Did you go to church as a kid, David?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I was confirmed and stuff. It didn't It wasn't like every year, but I went to church for me, like 5 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Before middle school. And like you get down on your hands and knees and pray. And you never think about it, just feels right, and like that's just what everybody does. Your adults did it, your grandmother did it, her grandma, it's just hereditary. Basically, it's just we learned it from society, if you want. Social construct and all. But like it kind of hit me. Because like I knelt down and I was like, just like, man, like in the rain even. I didn't even care. I just was like out there. I was like reminding myself that I had no shirt on. I was just wearing jeans and my bucket hat with no shirt on. Drank 2 beers in the woods. I'm in the middle of the woods pouring in a rainstorm, thunderstorm. Everything's raining around me. And I like knelt down or whatever, and it hit me. It's like I know why they do it. It's like the actual way you get connected to the earth more. Like your feet aren't enough. You're not as close. When you kneel on earth, you're like in the dirt, man. Green thumb's a real thing. My dad's a green thumb. And I love the woods. I love hunting. I love fishing. Even if I don't kill and eat any of it, I still love being out there in the nature. And I've talked the last few weeks about this, but I've been really, I guess in solitude, I've been trying to find peace inside of myself. So when I go back to society, I can reflect and be like, nah, that's not who I am. Like being upset about this is not who I am, because it's not worth it. And it's fine that nobody cares about mental health of men. But that's why there should be men like me that are willing to talk about it and are here to talk to people about their mental health. Shout out to one of my friends. I love him very dearly. He actually called me this week, and most people don't care. And honestly, it sounds misogynistic, and it is. Women don't care either. Your wife don't care. Your girlfriend don't care. They're not built to handle your problems. Because men are built to create the world, man. It's biologic. It's essence. I know it. It's how we got here. Doesn't mean it can't be changed. Globalism's inevitable. But I literally ran in the rain like a kid, man. And I laughed like a child. I felt like a kid. Back to the immaturity thing that I started with at the front of this podcast. The moments when I feel like that, like I feel like ashamed of myself that I would let myself become that immature in that moment and run in the rain like my daughter does and giggle at fairies and butterflies. But you know what? One of the greatest feelings I've ever had as an adult. Maybe we need to be immature so that we can learn how to grow into maturity. And by that, I mean have moments of immaturity so that when you go and be mature, right, be an adult, go to work 9 to 5, take care of your family, go do your goals, all these things, college, or what all these other people do, blast dick rockets into space, whatever you do, like, like maybe you need that. Maybe that vice of immaturity or creativity for some people, like, could go a long way. So I guess my Decembertainment this week is really, yeah, man. People care. You just got to find them. It's hard. I have another friend. He always tells me when we talk that it's hard to find people that have conversations like this. What we do on this program, even, quite frankly, it's an in-depth, intense. It'd be called intense, especially this week's. But it's like intense. A lot of people don't like to handle things like this. That's why it's People don't like confrontational naturally, which is expected because we're warring people. I'd rather trade with you than kill you. But, like, we all have the ability to kill you before we trade with you. So, yeah, men's mental health is important. I hope, I know that sections of the internet are opening up to it, which is always good. I actually go to those sections because I've heard plenty of stories about people in very similar situations. And it doesn't help me. You know, it's not like, oh, well, he did it, I can do it. But it just, feeling like you're not alone goes a long way in the world, man, when everybody feels alone because you can be isolated by distractions like your cell phone. So until then, watch this on your cell phone and follow us. Like, comment, subscribe at December 1773. It's Dave and Ryan. I appreciate everybody if you made it to the end. Like the video, share the video. We drop 7 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. And yeah, you know, follow us, all that jazz. But I appreciate you guys more than anything. I appreciate your time. I appreciate David's time. And yeah, thank you. Men's mental health is important. And ask somebody, a guy you know or a guy you're close to, or even your dad or something, you know, tell them you love them and ask them if they're okay. Because honestly, you might save somebody's life sometimes. Because men kill themselves, and it's sad. It's a really sad thing. But I won't end on a grim note. I do appreciate everybody, and I do appreciate you, David. So till next week, and thank you, everybody, and yeah, see you guys.
Hey, thank you, Ryan. Thanks, everyone.
Go Bills! Josh Allen is so great. Watching him kick Mahomes' ass, bro. Tom Brady, Allen, Super Bowl, calling it now. I know it's week 6 or whatever, but
Monday night revenge game 2.0 against Tennessee.
Like, you know what's crazy? He's got to live up last week. Like, oh, he's got to show up on Showtime. Like, I don't know, defeating the Kansas City Chiefs just like Tom Brady did last year. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, Brady, Allen, Super Bowl. Brady wins it. Talk to you. That's what I'm predicting. With Eminem as the halftime show. Ibra. Just when I want to see nipple, man. Mary J. Blige. All right, I'm gone. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.